Some YouTube channels feel less like entertainment and more like a signal left running after everyone went home. Open a channel with no clear host, no explanation, and no familiar rhythm, and the internet starts doing what it always does. It tries to build a story. These are the strange, low-context channels, the ones with repeated uploads, blank titles, numbered clips, synthetic voices, test patterns, empty rooms, loops that feel accidental but also too specific to ignore. What people noticed was not always one shocking detail. It was the absence of normal details. No introduction, no brand, no visible purpose, just a public archive of things that looked unfinished, automated, abandoned, or made for an audience that never arrived. What we know is simple. YouTube has always contained more than ordinary videos. It has test uploads, art projects, bot-generated content, forgotten personal experiments, school projects, corporate demonstrations, private in public storage and channels, created before people understood how permanent the platform might become. What remains unclear is why certain channels cross the line from boring to uncanny. A 10-second clip can look harmless, but repeat it thousands of times, strip away the context, and give it a title made of letters and numbers, and suddenly it feels like evidence of something. The available evidence suggests that many of these channels are not connected at all. They are fragments from different eras of YouTube, accidentally grouped together by curiosity. But that may be what makes them interesting. They reveal a version of the web that was never polished for viewers. A back hallway of public uploads, half-tests, dead projects, and digital noise. The mystery is not always what the channel is hiding. Sometimes it is why something so ordinary feels so strange once the explanation disappears. If one strange channel can be dismissed as a prank, several famous cases begin to look like a language. YouTube accidentally invented. One public example became known for simple colored rectangles tones and an overwhelming number of uploads. For a while, viewers treated it like a puzzle. The videos looked meaningless, but they were too consistent to feel random. Eventually, the most grounded explanation pointed to platform testing, not a secret broadcast. Another remembered case involved a channel that uploaded huge numbers of abstract, low-context clips with odd titles and harsh digital fragments. It became part of internet folklore because it never offered a satisfying introduction. There was no narrator stepping forward to say, this is the project, this is the point, this is the ending. Then there were channels that began normally and turned strange over time. A simple educational format, a repeated voice, a predictable upload style, then a shift into countdowns, coded sounding phrases, or fictional dread. In some cases, the later explanation was closer to performance art or storytelling than anything dangerous. The pattern is important. These channels did not become memorable because they showed too much. They became memorable because they showed almost nothing. What we know is that public platforms flatten context. A test, a joke, an archive, an art piece, and an abandoned experiment can all look similar when found years later. The upload date remains. The title remains, the account remains, but the original reason may be gone. What remains unclear is how many strange channels were meant to be mysterious, and how many only became mysterious after time removed the surrounding explanation. That is the strange power of old YouTube. It can turn forgotten maintenance, amateur experiments, and unfinished ideas into digital ruins. Not every ruin hides a secret, but every ruin asks the same question. Who was this for? The most likely explanation for many strange YouTube channels may be less dramatic than the feeling they create. YouTube is not just a stage, it is also storage testing ground, notebook laboratory, portfolio, classroom, mirror and mistake archive. For almost 2 decades, people and systems have uploaded things that were never meant to become legends. Some channels may come from automated workflows, Some may be quality tests, some may be unfinished art, some may be abandoned attempts at content farming. Some may be personal experiments left public because the creator moved on, and some may be deliberate fiction designed to look like a broken transmission from the edge of the platform. What people believed often depended on the atmosphere. A robotic voice made it feel colder. A random title made it feel coded. Repetition made it feel intentional. Silence made it feel hidden. But none of those details prove a single explanation. What we know is that platforms preserve fragments unevenly. Videos can outlive descriptions. Channels can outlive communities. Algorithms can surface old material without restoring the context that once made it ordinary. What remains unclear is not whether every strange channel has a secret. It is which ones were made to be strange, which ones became strange by accident, and which ones were never meant to be found at all. That uncertainty is why the phenomenon keeps returning. It reminds us that the internet is not a clean museum. It is a warehouse, with the lights half on, full of files that lost their labels. The safer conclusion is not that these channels are connected, or that they point to one hidden system. The simpler explanation is that YouTube is old enough now to have ghosts, and most of those ghosts are just context missing from the room